To my dear TBDJ family, on behalf of Rivki and myself, we'd like to wish you a Shana Tova, a wonderful Yom Tov, a good year of health, of happiness, nachas from your families. We want to say that we're aware this is the second year, particularly for those who are not going to be able to join us again, how much we miss you, how much we miss having everybody together in Shul. Totally understand why, for many of you, it is not yet comfortable to come back to Shul, and we yearn and await the day when we'll all be able to be together again. I did want to just share a quick Rosh Hashanah message for you, and that has to do with the question that I am asked over and over again, both by rabbinic colleagues in many discussions, as well as here in Mount Shul, many members want to know the big question: will they come back? Will all of our members, who now for the second year in a row will not be able to be here, but are they going to come back? To me, it's not even a question. It's not even a question. Of course they're going to come back. And I'd like to discuss or share a little bit why I feel so confident about that. And I hope it won't be irreverent to quote a baseball film here in the main shul in a Rosh Hashanah message, but so it goes. Field of Dreams, the classic 1989 American film, the fantasy drama, has been back in the news this summer. And Major League Baseball decided to build an actual 8,000-seat stadium in Iowa, right next to the field that had been constructed for the film back in '89, and hosted a Major League game between the Yankees and the White Sox. But the drama that took place this past summer doesn't really reflect the drama in the original film released back in 1989. For those of you not familiar, the film follows a character, an Iowa farmer by the name of Ray, who was played by Kevin Costner, who begins to hear mysterious voices in his cornfields of Iowa. If you build it, he will come. If you build it, he will come. If you build it, he will come. And Ray follows these mysterious voices, and with the support of his wife, plows over his cornfield and builds a baseball diamond. And the ghosts of old, the baseball players from 1919, come from out of the cornfields to play baseball in his backyard, in his cornfield. And as the film reaches its climax at the end, Ray discovers that one of the ball players, hidden by the catcher's mask, is none other than his father. But not his father as the washed-up 40-something old ball player that Ray remembered as a child, but he meets his father as a 24-year-old, young, good-looking, strong, life ahead of him young man. And in one of the most nostalgic scenes at the end of the film, as Ray introduces his young father to his current wife and to his child, and Ray's father turns to head back into the cornfield, Ray calls out and says, "Dad, you want to have a catch?" And as the film sort of fades off, the two of them are brought back together, having a catch. But there's something else that weaves its way through the film. That is the question of, why did the ball players themselves ever return from the great beyond to play? They never make any grandiose statements. They don't try to save the world. They literally just come back simply to hit a few, to field a few, and remind us of a good and innocent time. And that idea is at the center of one of the most beautiful speeches in all of baseball cinematic history. The great James Earl Jones playing one of the main characters in the film as Ray's about to go bankrupt and foreclosed on as he can't pay his mortgage. And James Earl Jones walks off to the field and says to Ray, "Ray, people will come to this field."
People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom.
They will pull up not knowing what's drawing them to Iowa, but they are going to come to see, to return to an era when they reminded themselves of what it was like to be as kids. Oh, they will come, Ray.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
It reminds us of all that was once good and could be again. People will come, Ray, he says. People will come to touch that memory of that which was good and remind them of what could be again. Take out all the references to baseball and insert your shul in its place. And our shul has all of those components. Our shul is the place. Don't have to have these earth-shattering statements. It's just the place to hit a few and field a few, to sit back, to schmooze with some friends, to daven, to remind ourselves of what was good and what could be good again. It's the place where memories were created, where we see the past, we live in the present, and we see the future of the kids running around, of what could be. It's the place in which we come to say Yizkor on Yom Kippur and other Yom Tovim, in which we can touch the memories of loved ones gone by. We could remind ourselves of what it was like to sit next to them in shul, to be able to show them our own nachas, our own families that are growing, to yearn to be able to show that to them as well. All of that takes place in this room in which I stand, in which we're reminded of those times, in which we create the new memories, in which we look into the future. People will come, I say. People will come as soon as it is again safe to return. This is the place where the memories have been created and future memories will be created, where we come together to our families. Life marches on around us, but the constant in our life, our spiritual life, our shul, our ability to connect to Hashem, to daven, to connect to our friends in a social setting, in shul, all of that happens right here. Yes, people will come, Ray. Oh, indeed. People will come. Rifki and I cannot wait till that day when everyone will be back. And in the meanwhile, we wish you a wonderful, safe, and healthy Shana Tova, a year of blessings and good things. May all your wishes and dreams indeed come true. Shana Tova, a good Yantiv.